Hello, I'm Nick and I'm going to demonstrate the teaching tools that we have built into Gorilla. I'm going to use two different accounts to demonstrate this. So in Firefox I'm logged in as Nick Teacher, and in Edge I'm logged in as Nick Student. Now obviously in reality these would be two different people on completely separate computers, but this way I can show you both sides simultaneously. So let's start as the teacher. I've created a simple project here which contains a task and an experiment. The task is very straightforward. It simply shows a simple message on the screen. Let's have a quick look. There we go. And I've created an experiment to go with it as well, which just runs the task. So that's going to be the starting materials for my project, for my assignment. So let's go ahead and set up my teaching materials. So I'm going to teaching, and the first thing I'm going to do is create a new module. We've designed modules to be analogous to a module in a university degree course. So there we go. So here's my module. Now in a module there are two things you can do. You can create assignments, which is things you want your students to do, and then you can add students to the module. So let's go ahead and create an assignment. Now I'm going to use the description here to explain what I want my students to do. Nice and simple. Excuse me. So here's the first assignment, and I can see submissions from my students here. Obviously there aren't any yet. And I can also give them some materials that they can use as a starting point. So I'm going to go ahead and add a project, and this gives me a list of all of my projects. This is the one that I showed you earlier, so let's add that in. So all of my students can now access this project. They won't be able to change it, but they can clone its content for themselves. So let's go back to the module and let's add a student. So go students, and you can upload a CSV of students. I've got one that I made earlier that has our single student in it, but obviously that could be a big long list of people. There we go. So my module's now ready to go. It's got an assignment, it's got a student that's ready to do it. Let's go and look at it from the student side. So here I am, I'm Nick Student. If I go into teaching, I can see I've got a module here, Psych 101, and I can see the assignments. So let's go ahead and go in here. Now I can see the title and description, just tells me what to do. I haven't submitted any work yet, but I can go to materials and see what I've been given. Here we are. So I obviously can't edit the direct one, the one that belongs to the assignment, but I can go and immediately go and create my own clone and edit that. So here we go. I'll keep the same name, that's fine. And I'm automatically going to attach this project to this assignment. So that means that the clone that I'm creating is going to be effectively automatically registered as my submission for this assignment. I don't have to worry about going and submitting it later. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's my own version of the assignment materials. I can edit everything I want. I can go into the task, I can see how it all works, I can poke around, and let's go and make the change that I'm supposed to make. Hi. There we go. Let's check that's working. It says hi now, very nice. Very cool. So let's commit that. So that's all ready to go. So if I go back to my teaching side of things, I can go back to the assignment. I can see now that my work has appeared here because we registered it. And I can click on my name and I can add any notes I want that I want my teacher to be able to see. There we go, worth a shot. So my work's all submitted, I'm all done. Let's go back and look at the teacher side now. So here I am, I'm Nick Teacher again. Let's go back to the assignments and go to our first one here. I can now see I've got a submission from Nick Student. I can click on his name and see any messages that have been put up there, and I can go and have a look at his project. So I can go and look at the task, I can see the message changed, I can preview it, I can do anything I want. So from there I can decide what marks to award, any other sort of what to talk about in our next seminar, anything like that. And that's basically it. Let's a couple of other quick little niceties to show you. When I go back to teaching, when I want to go and create another assignment, I don't bother putting anything here, but it appears in here, and for my student it'll appear straight away. I go back to Psych 101, there it is, there's assignment 2. I can change the order. Here they are back as a student. There we go. And when I want to create a second module, and I want to add students, I don't need to have another CSV, I can simply import the same list from another module. Presumably there'll be quite a few modules where it's the same set of students taking both. So I can just import that straight away, and there next student appears. If I go back to next student over here, go back to teaching, I can now see Psych 102. And that's everything. Those are the teaching tools in Gorilla.